Hey guys, so I'm back. I'm so sorry it's been so long. But one thing that I've been thinking about of lately, now that I'm pregnant, is all the old names I used to love as a kid and up through my teens. So I thought it would be a neat idea to go through my old name trunk. And I would love for you guys to do a video response. I'd love to see what your names were back in the day. So my very first dawning of love of names started in kindergarten when this really cool kid named Shane was in my class. And I just remember thinking, oh my goodness, Shane is such a cool name. It's Irish and it means God is gracious. Further on in elementary school, I knew another boy named Calvin, and I thought Calvin was really, really cool too. And I was like, oh my word, one day I'd love to have a little boy named Calvin. And I still love the name, but I don't like the meaning at all, so it kind of ruins it for me. It's Latin and it means bald. Also in elementary school, I had a pen pal from another school that I met a couple times, and her name was Leslie. And I thought Leslie was such a sweet, quiet, pretty name, and I still do. But unfortunately, Leslie passed away, which just made me love the name all the more. And it's English and means joy. Growing up on a farm, you also meet a lot of people. And I remember these two sisters that came, and they were so cool, and their names were Vivian and Saskia. And I was like, oh my goodness, those are the coolest names ever. And I still love them to this day. Vivian is Latin and means alive, and Saskia is German and means Saxon woman. So then I got into my early teens, and I got my very first baby name book and poured through it. And thank goodness I have metamorphosis. Is that how you want to say? I'm just glad I've gotten beyond that point because some of these names are pretty awful. But I got it into my head. I wanted quadruplet girls. And yes, you heard that right. And I was going to name them Hope Ivana, Charity Shashiana, Faith Rebekah, and Joy Renita. Oh my goodness. Somebody help me. Bless the babies. Oh my goodness. They're so bad. I don't know. Ivana, anyway, is Russian. It means God is gracious. Shashan is Hebrew. It means lily and rose. Rebekah is Hebrew, means snare. And Renita is Hebrew for song. Oh my goodness. So then, 4 daughters weren't enough. I thought, well, I would need a boy. So I put the names Caleb, Uriah together because I thought that was really neat until I met a Caleb and Uriah, and then I was like, oh my goodness, I can't use them now. But Caleb is Hebrew, means wholehearted, and Uriah is also Hebrew, means God is my light. And then to top it all off, because my choice in names weren't already horrendous already, I decided to get really creative. My mom's name is Kim, and a good friend of mine's name is Denise, so I created the name Kamara Denise. No words. Denise is French for a devotee of Dionysus, which is a god, which I didn't know that back then. So I at last outgrew that, thank the heavens, and I could never really come up with until my later teens, I really couldn't come up with a boy's name I liked, so I just came up with 2 girls' names that in my mind, it was like I was going to have these girls' names. And once again, thank goodness, it never happened. But the first one was Bethany Joanne. I loved the name Bethany, and Joanne was for my grandma. And I really did like this name a lot. I just completely envisioned myself one day having a Bethany Joanne. And thank goodness Josiah intervened and said nay. But Bethany is biblical, means a place of figs. And Joanne means God is gracious. And the other girl's name, which completely doesn't match Bethany Joanne at all, is Miriam Rejoice. And I still loved the name Miriam up until a year ago where I met one, and she completely crushed all my hopes of the name Miriam because she was the exact opposite of what I pictured a Miriam to be. and it was heartbreaking. But Miriam is Hebrew, means bitter, and rejoice means to make joyful. So it's kind of a weird meaning anyway. Oh my goodness, I just don't know what I was thinking. But at any rate, I'm glad that they're all buried in my name trunk and they're all treasures, and you can just see how I've evolved over time. So like I said before, I would love video responses to see your guys' name trunks, and I'm so excited to kind of be back in the swing of things again. So thanks for holding in there, guys, and I'll talk to you later.